right, welcome back across the bridge, connecting the globe with Duval County. We've been in the news lately, man. It's been a lot of hate going on, but we here to bring the love and the positivity about the city and all the wonderful people. So we're gonna keep bridging the gap, keep taking y'all across the bridge and introducing y'all to the lovely people of the city and talking about sports, music, and more. Some interesting topics, some trending topics. But I do want to kick this off with the across the bridge segment. But first, how you living, man? How you doing? You moved in now. You all good? You got a little fur on your pillow.
Yeah,
What's
yeah, yeah.
going on?
You know how I get down. Gotta keep the soft stuff. You know what I'm saying? Keep the soft things going. Hope that spit ain't get in there. What you say we been in the news for?
I just keep seeing something about some dude who visited the city for a couple minutes and then went viral because he's saying Jacksonville born, ain't nothing going on.
Oh, I thought bro was staying. I thought bro was staying here, but all right, yeah, bump all that. Yeah, but I'm good, brother. Like this guy done feed my baby. We had some spaghetti and turkey meatballs. I whipped that up for her real quick. She ate that. Um, still getting everything straight up, but I'm getting things in her bed to be in a minute. I'm ready to get her room set up
Yeah.
and just starting to decorate a little bit more. You dig? Still working out, man. Staying focused and that's staying focused, bro. Staying last episode. Just being aware, staying aware of what's going on. It's a lot going on right now in the country, a lot going on in the world right now, spiritually, physically, everything. I'm just staying aware, man, and moving with purpose and moving circumspect through this life. You dig?
Yeah. I mean, you can only control what you can control. But I am mindful of what's going on in different aspects, right? But I'm just trying to lock in on myself and my family right now and just make sure we good and just keep my eye, peeled to what's going on and what's happening.
Facts, big
Um,
facts.
so yeah, I actually just did a bathroom project, half bathroom. I did it all in one day too, man. It was
Oh,
pretty
clean. That got clean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's my wife turn now though. She got to do the decoration, but
Everything worked right. Everything, all the plumbing and everything good.
yeah, there's like the drain stopper, was a little off from where the old one was. So I did have to like maneuver it a little bit. And in doing that, I feel like there's like a tight little drip. So I did buy some silicone today. So I'll just kind of caulk around the bottom and it'll stop it. But it's like a little small drip and I gotta change the water pressure of the faucet. But I mean if that's all I got from that, you know what I'm saying, I'll call it a W.
Yeah, yeah, definitely,
Um,
dog.
so
Big
yeah,
dog.
no, it all turned out well. Out of everything, plumbing and electricity are the two things I do try to like be mindful of. I don't get too crazy, but I
Yeah.
did a dishwasher before and I have done my sprinkler system in my house in Florida. So I got a little practice, but all is well, man.
It's
So
good.
and the house ain't flooding, you know what I'm saying? So
Right, right, right.
yeah.
What you got your son in for the summer? What he in camp or pre-K or what he got going for the summer?
I mean he started martial arts in January, so he's a yellow belt now, and I think green belt is next. So he has belt testing at the end of June. Outside of that, basketball is what we'll get him in next, and then probably just go into like soccer and baseball. So just try to get him to touch everything from a sport team standpoint. But yeah, right now it's martial arts and then basketball, and then he'll spend some time. I'll probably have my parents come up here and watch him, and then me and my wife go vacation somewhere. You know what I'm saying? But
I'm trying to get her on swimming, get her on swimming next. We can
yeah,
get comfortable in that water. Summertime, she just started summer camp. They go on to all the little water spots. Like you guys be able to protect yourself in some type of way, in that pool.
yeah, nah, for sure. He'll be in water for sure. We got a pool, probably like 5 minute walk from my house, so I'll get him in there. But yeah, he'll definitely take some swimming classes for sure.
No doubt, no doubt. That's what's up, man. Family good.
Yes, sir. We all good, man. So I want to go across the bridge, man, and I think it was News for Jacks. I forget the guy's name, but he had a post the other day, and it was Bernard Wilkes, and I was like, and it had some old school film, man, of Paxson versus Rebound in like the 70s or 80s. And boy, it was dunking. I was like, is this college? It looked like college, man. But I just want to take people across the bridge and recognize Bernard Wilkes. So we kind of have a personal connection to him, but I just want to share who he is and the impact that he made on the city. So I'm kind of reading this from one of his Hall of Fames for the Florida Athletic write up for him, but Bernard Wilkes' legacy at Jacksonville Ribault High School is one of inspiration and achievement. Although he is gone, the example he set for student athletes in Jacksonville specifically, will live forever. So, just a little bit about him. Mr. Wilkes played high school basketball at Eugene Butler High School. Let me pause right there. Butler was a high school?
I guess so.
Okay,
Shit, I guess so.
we learned something new. I'm just familiar with,
Right.
you
Yeah,
know what I'm saying,
yeah.
the middle school.
You're
But
badass middle school.
huh?
Badass middle school.
Hey, when at James Weldon, we put it on them boys. Hey,
Bro,
yeah, yeah. Hey,
it
we
was
had a
bad.
squad. We had a squad 8th grade year, man.
I heard.
Me, Journey, Rod, I want to say. I
I
think
ain't impressed. I ain't impressed. I done heard about it. We ain't worried about y'all.
Desi, Alvin Brooks. Come on, man.
We whooped y'all ass too.
Ooh,
We would have whooped y'all ass too.
we would have. See, here we go.
We whooped y'all ass
I
too.
ain't gonna go there. We got ask Alvin Brooks, you know what I'm saying? Ask Journey, you know what I'm saying? Ask Akeem. Who else? Man, we had a squad, bro. But anyway, um, so Eugene Butler High School at the time, and he started every game varsity level, and he earned an athletic scholarship to Shaw University. He ended up graduating from Shaw in 1971 with a degree in physical education. He came back to coach head boys basketball at Ribault High School in 1976, and he made his first finals appearance in 1981. Over his 30-year career, he won 12 Gateway Conference championships, 21 district titles, and 16 final state tournament appearances. He was a state champion, state runner-up 4 times, and his overall record 758, 158 losses. So 2 wins shy of the record for the most wins in Florida high school basketball, and that was set by Don Wallen. He did end up leading 100 student athletes to play basketball at the collegiate level. And again, he was just somebody who was really respected in the community. So I want to ask you, did you know who he was? Did you ever experience him or have any connection with Bernard Wilkes?
No, I mean, I'm familiar with. I know of his name coming up, right? But I didn't have any. I never met him. You know.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I was just curious because my connection has always been through Chelsea, who's his daughter, went to middle school with her, and she was somebody who always raved about, her father. And I just remember the time when he actually passed and the impact that that had on her. And just hearing more about him and the impact that he had, I was like, man, sound like a dude who was really, impactful specifically for the Reebok high school and the young men there in the community, well respected. I was even just going through some of the obituary testimonies and just seeing like, man, like he really had an impact. I never personally met him, not that I recall or seen him, but definitely heard a lot. And again, I just seen a post from News for Jacks. They brought up an archive and they highlighted him, and I was like, I thought that would be great to just bring people across the bridge, introduce some legends, as you specifically kind of talked about introducing Reigns last week. So just kind of starting that vibe as far as a connection to the city and some real legends. So
yes, sir. Shout out to Chelsea. That's his daughter. Y'all check her out. She got the food truck. Beautiful young sister. Always doing the thing. Funny as hell.
hey,
I'm a homegirl, love her to death, man. So you can see his legacy
yeah,
through her for real. You're a soldier for real. That's my homie right there. So shout
yeah,
out to Chelsea. Shout out to Bernard Wilkes. Bought all that though.
yeah. She was Chelsea. Yeah, she used to be. I remember, when we was great in middle school with a basketball team that would have dominated Darnell Cookman for sure. She was like that. she wasn't. I don't think she was a cheerleader, but she had this chant, man. That whether it was a pep rally or the game, boys, you always heard Chelsea voice, and I'm
Oh,
so happy for what she got going on now. I'm sad to say I've never tried her food.
that be busting. It be busting.
Yeah, I've never tried her food, but shout out to Southern Bells, if I'm not mistaken, is the name. So if you're in Miami, I think she got a food truck now, right? Or
Yeah,
a
food truck.
restaurant.
She got a food truck. I think the restaurant coming along. Now I think the brick and mortar coming along now.
Word. Well, shout out to you, Chelsea. I pray just for blessings and abundance and success. And at some point, I'm definitely going to support Southern Bell. So shout out to you. Shout out to your dad, Bernard Wilkes, across the bridge.
Right, right. Shout out.
So the NBA Finals, man. I feel like I was prophetic. Now, what's the faces for? What's the face?
Prophetic, you didn't even give a real pick. You ain't even say when you got the Thunder gonna win.
I still I said Thunder in six.
Yeah, and then I said when I mentioned them winning at home against the Pacers, you was like, "Oh yeah, let me think about that. Let me think about that." So they
Yeah,
gonna.
from the standpoint of maybe I'll go to Thunders in five. That was all that was
So
thinking.
what is it? Is it Thunder and six or Thunder and five?
Oh, I'll say Thunder in five, but I'm just
Okay.
saying Thunder in six is I was giving the Pacers two games. But I do like winning on your home court, so I'll call it Thunder in five. But I honestly don't believe the Pacers match up well, right? I explained this. My main takeaway is that Shea Gildress Alexander is somebody who's going to average 30, right? Like he's not going to be stopped. But the advantage they have is that they have a team of people who can score 10, 15, 20 points. So yes, they are tied 1-1. I think I understand why, but they are tied 1-1. And the biggest factor, as we can see from game two, is that Shea Gildress Alexander from game one to game two added five more assists, right? That was the biggest difference to me is that he had 38 and three game one. They lost at the buzzer. Game two, they won by 15 or whatnot. He had 34 and eight. So the five assists is what really is the difference because he has people who can score. He has people who can spot up and shoot. He has a big man that's flexible to be able to drive to the basket or pull up from range. And if long as he continues to get his team involved, I honestly don't believe the Pacers will have a chance, right? So when I think about game one, the reason to me why they lost is because they underestimated the ability for them to actually come back so quickly. And that was demonstrated to me by like the final 5 to 6 minutes when they were up double digits. And every play, Shea Gildress will come down, they will waste the clock and he will pull up from mid range or try to get off a shot at the last second. Neesmith hit a three, Neymar or Nimbard hit a three, somebody else hits a three. And now you got a quick game, and now it's like, all right, we got to pick back up the flow, but they had already lost it. And that's why you see him taking like 34, 30 shots. So they learn from that. And now, as long as the Pacers can't be close within the last minute or two, I honestly don't see them win a game at all. And just reflect back on your bad take and why my take was so prophetic. So, what you say, man? What you got
No,
to say?
no prophecy at all. I picked Pacers in six. They had to win a game on the road. They've done that, right? Now, just go home and take care of business. I have no reason to believe that they can't win both of these games at home. Uh, the Thunder gonna do what they're gonna do. They're gonna do what they're gonna do, and they're gonna do it. They're not gonna make too many adjustments. And the adjustment that he did make was just like, what are you doing? How you come out here before the game even start and you bench your damn center? Okay, see, coach, I thought that was stupid, and they paid for on the boards, put him back in, and he righted the ship with that. So I'm interested to see what Rick Carlisle gonna do. Is he just gonna tell his team just to slow down? They just gotta slow the hell down. These dudes turn the ball over.
That's their
They,
offense.
they always seem rushed. They always seem too many people have the ball in their hands and are doing nothing with it. So it's just like, hey man, Rick Carlisle, you know what to do. You've been here before. Keep the ball in your playmakers' hands, someone who can actually get the ball to other people. There's no reason that Pascal Siakam should be bringing the ball up court and then turning his back on the whole offense and getting the ball stole from him. Miles Turner gotta continue to be effective. Excuse me. Oh, Halliburton gotta pace the game, man. You the point guard. Get the ball in your hand, pace the game. Watching both of those games, man, it just show everything that's wrong with basketball in a sense from both teams. It's like just the pace, and I love listening to Tino Mobley because he break it down all the time from a space of how I come from the old school. Just like y'all not playing with any sense. Like you said there and said, the way that the Thunder did lose game one, they shouldn't have lost that game, right? But they lost the game because you just not playing smart professional basketball. You playing like idiots. It's stuff that in college they rein that stuff in. If you got a big lead in college, you gonna slow that game down. You gonna take it slow. You gonna milk the clock.
They
These,
did.
huh?
They did slow it down.
Yeah, but you missed, but you took dumb shots. You slow it down to the point where the ball is in one dude's hand. You ain't really
Correct.
running your offense behind it. You just holding it. No, that's not smart basketball. That's I don't know what that is, right? So I say last game Pacers. It's close for a minute, but then when it took off on them, it's because you just turned the ball over. Everybody just going too damn fast. It's like these dudes be running downhill 1-on-4 in the breaks, running right in the middle of and jumping in the air. Like, what are y'all? Why don't you just stop? Wait for everybody to come down court. Like, I don't understand what is happening in basketball. Besides maybe the fact that when I hear all the OGs who retired say they pushing all the veterans out the league. So you push the veterans out the league, and there's no one to come tell you, hey man, like do this, do this, do this in a moment. For the Pacers, it's simply a thing of pace, and that's been going on since the damn Cavaliers series. Just slow the damn game down, man. You don't have to go that damn fast. I think they are just as good as them in the fast court. I mean, in the half court, they can run sets, they can run plays, they're running people off, but it's 1-1. I can't really say too many X's. I think game three will really give me some real X's and O's of how the series gonna go. I tell you what, if the Pacers do win game three, and like you saying, you think the Thunder gonna win in five ain't gonna happen. This might be going to a 7-game series. So I'm just interested in seeing the X's and O's, man. What's gonna happen? I'm happy with the series though. I'm happy with the basketball I have seen. Besides it's like the whole NBA. You got the dumb basketball, you got good basketball, you got SGA doing what he gonna do. You got one team that's doing what they gonna do. He gonna get them shots up, and if in the midst of him getting them shots up, like you said, 8 assists, I'm not really impressed by that. It just will he hit those shots efficiently? If he come out there and he 9 for 30, 10 for 33, stuff like that, the Pacers have a chance. So I think I have a much more concise breakdown after watching the game three tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned slowing it down. I think it's too late for that. Like, these are the two fastest teams in the league, and they're representing the NBA Finals. So it's hard to say, hey, what got us here? We should actually change it up and now slow it down and orchestrate our game from there, right? Like the Pacers, highest scoring team, if I'm not mistaken, in the league. And if you think about this whole playoff run, being fast paced is what's allowed them to make it to this point because they've been down 15, 20 points consistently in these games, right? And they've been able to take a 10 or at least a double digit lead in the last minute, last 2 minutes, and be able to win the game. And it's simply because they are a team that plays at pace. They do push the ball, they do pull up from three, and they can shoot, right? So they have that opportunity when the other team is up 10, 15, and they're trying to slow the pace. The Pacers are continuously keeping that pace up, and that's allowed them to get back into the game. It's just now with the Thunder, they do have a defensive mindset, so they can
Exactly.
actually get stops. They can push the ball, but the biggest thing is just remaining aggressive. In game one, they stopped being aggressive, right? So they waited till 4 or 5 seconds. It's always going to be in Shai Gilgeous' hand. Then he tries to create a shot, which he can pull up from 2 points, but it's obvious, right? And the intensity raises from the Pacers when they're down because they're trying to come back. So I just think it's important, as they did in game two, keep the pressure, keep the pace, drive to the basket, kick it out when you need to, get great shots. They were doing a high screen pick and roll for almost half court for SGA, so he's able to break down the defense and get a great shot. So that's why he was much more efficient. And then at the same time, when they did move or hedge or double team him, he kicked it out to the right person. And you got, again, these people that you probably never heard of. Wiggins, dropping 15. You got Caruso dropping 20. you are not going to be the team where you got people like that scoring 20, in addition to your main star dropping 30 plus. It's an easy win. They just got to keep the double digit lead. And I think that's what's going to happen throughout the rest of the series. And I got OKC in 5, SGA becoming a superstar. So that's what I see for this series, but definitely game three. When is game three?
tomorrow.
Tomorrow night. So I definitely see that, being the key difference, but I see OKC taking this and Halliburton, what the hell
Mhm.
that's gonna be over with.
We're gonna see. We're gonna see.
So one thing though we did talk about when it came down to the NBA finals was the fact that you have Oklahoma versus Indiana.
Right.
So we talked about this a while ago. We brought it up, and you brought it up last episode, thinking about the importance of having a small market team from both conferences represent the NBA finals, and what would that do for the NBA. So I don't know if you saw, but according to this is outkick.com, so take it for what it is.
Right.
The Thunders versus Pacers averaged 8.9 million viewers,
Hmm.
marking the least watched opening game one of the NBA Final Series since 1988, aside
Mm.
from COVID years. What's your thoughts based on what we've been thinking about and the importance of this series and the impact that it's having as far as the amount of people watching it?
Man, I'm wondering, bro. Like I mentioned in the top of the show, it's a lot going on. Just globally right now, even in the spaces like when I get on the YouTubes and my algorithm and the social media, what's plugging my social media feed right now is what's happening in LA. I'm not even seeing a lot of talk about sports really, period. Baseball, basketball. I'm not even seeing a lot of talk about it. I think maybe that might have something to do with it, or it could just be the obvious that what everybody been saying. Yo, this Oklahoma City versus down Indiana. Um, and it kind of, if that's the case, it don't look well in basketball. Cause like we saying, we do got the MVP of the league. Now you got the MVP in here, and you telling me, oh, he got these low ass ratings. I wonder what the finals was last year, or that one with Denver and the Nuggets. That'd be interesting to compare those two. But like I said, man, it just seemed like what's happening in the country right now is just it's kind of like reaching out to everybody. And I'm wondering maybe if that's what it is. People's minds just not really on trivial matters such as sports right now because the country is in full on upheaval. People beefing all over the damn world right now, all over this country. So yeah, man, it's one of those two. It's one of those two, bro.
Yeah, so let's see if I could find ratings. So looking at Boston 2024, they averaged around 11 million. So
Mm.
if you think about the Pacers versus the Thunder, 8.9.
That's 9 million. That's 2 million difference. 2 million difference.
Yeah, I mean, in 2024, the high of the Celtics in Dallas was game three at 12.3 million. The year before that, 2023, you had the Nuggets versus Miami Heat.
Mm.
They had a high of 13 million game
Mm.
five, the closeout game.
Mm.
And let's go back to Golden State versus Boston. You had average around 12 million. The high was 14 million game six.
Mm.
So as we can see, it matters who's playing in the NBA finals, honestly, man, right? Like, again, you have two teams. Even though the Pacers are there, I still don't see them as a championship team. Like, it just is what it is from a branding standpoint. I think the same concept would ring true if the Jaguars would have been in a Super Bowl. It just wouldn't necessarily register, even if they could be a great team, X, Y, and Z. It's something about how these cities are marketed that you don't necessarily value them the same way as a Miami, a Los Angeles, a New York City, even like a Houston or Chicago, just by how they're branded, right? Like even people from outside the country, when they think Florida, they think Disney, right? They don't think Jacksonville. What's Jacksonville, right?
Right.
There are other places people live in Florida. They're just synonymous with, Miami, Orlando due to Disney. So I think that's the same concept, regardless of who the talent is. Now, of course, if you had a LeBron James, if you had a Kevin Durant, somebody of a high profile like that, it could make some impact even in a smaller city.
Yeah.
But overall, I just think, having these two small markets, the population size in those cities aren't big compared to New York or
Yeah.
LA.
Yeah.
And that's what's necessary to really draw the attention. You did have a good point as far as like what's happening outside, of basketball, outside of sports. It's a lot happening right now, whether you're talking about Paris, right now, China and Trump are meeting, which could dramatically impact the markets here in the next day or two,
Yeah.
depending on what that conversation looks like. So that has my attention. That has a lot of people's attention. Then you got LA. That's crazy too, man. I was watching a video, a reel, and the dude was just like bawling his tears out, like a teacher or something. Because at a elementary graduation, if I'm not mistaken, ICE raided, and parents, they trying to run out because they illegal, and then you
That's
got the kids, graduating but don't know if they're gonna see their parents in a minute, and then I can't imagine what that must be like. You know what I'm saying? And then now you got the troops coming in, the Marines. That just gave me flashbacks to those pictures I used to see where it's like turn left or get shot back in the days when all that was going on. If Rodney King, if I'm not mistaken. So I
Mhm.
don't know, man. Like that's a wild experience. It's a lot be happening in LA with
Right. Right.
fires and just all type of stuff, man. So
There's just a lot going on, man. And you think about it, you saying 8.9, that's pretty much 9 million, right?
yeah.
So compared to what you were talking about, well, one got 11, the highest rated game 13. I'm pretty sure, we're gonna, as I'm saying, with that being said, we're gonna see what happens. We gonna keep our eyes on what the NBA may have to do, try to like get this thing, get us talking, because I feel like the NFL had something going where it's like they took center stage for a minute or something. Maybe they did. I don't know. But I said it's been something going on. I really myself haven't even been focused on coverage. Like once the game go off, and then once it's a blowout game like last, you ain't ready to watch it. Okay, if it's a blowout and you saying they ain't gonna come back, you like, all right, well, I ain't trying to watch this. You know what I'm saying? You turn it off, whatever, whatever. So we're gonna see, man. I think tomorrow and game 5 gonna be some big games to see, because if like you say it's true and they do go up and close out in 5, it's gonna be interesting. And like I said, it's still big for the NBA to see what's gonna happen going forward.
Yeah, one thing though I would, recommend for the NBA, if I was consulting them, is just thinking about like the distance between games, man. Like
Yeah, it's too much, bro.
for it to be so much going on and just understanding like the time span or the attention span of our
Yeah,
society right now,
too
like you
many
can't be
games. Yeah.
going 2, 3, 4 days
Uh,
without a game.
right.
Especially when you just went from, first round, second round, a game every night, right? You
Yeah.
consistently had it. And then I think game 1 was 4 days after the previous
Oh,
series.
that's a great point. I don't know what the hell going on.
They got to figure that out. They got to leverage social media, right? Reels and TikTok, right? I don't know if they're on there or not, but it just ain't connecting right now. And I
Right.
think there's a
Right.
huge opportunity to keep it rapid. Like, hey, we just gonna do back to back, right? Like we're
Yeah.
gonna run it up and capture this opportunity because this 4 or 5 days in between, it ain't doing it.
You're right. I agree with that too wholeheartedly.
Yeah, man. So basketball season will probably be wrapping up soon. OKC in 5, game 2 tomorrow. We'll check it out. Or game 3 tomorrow. We'll check it out and see what happens. But I think they'll pack it up soon. Um, NFL, man. It's a couple headlines. Even though this is why the NFL is king, man. It's the off season and they make news.
Yep.
So right now you got some top talent being released, some top talent being signed. I want to get your perspective on Aaron Rodgers real quick. What do you think about Aaron Rodgers signing with the Pittsburgh
Not a
Steelers.
damn thing. Not a damn thing, man. Like I said, I don't know what's going on with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I want to pull for Mike Tomlin, but I just don't know what the hell going on. I don't know what they doing. I don't know why they got the quarterback. Aaron Rodgers not finna do shit for the Pittsburgh Steelers. You got Lamar Jackson. You got uh Burrow, and then you finna have a story the whole time in Cleveland with Shador. What's going on over there? Man, I just don't understand why those guys can't get a quarterback. Can't they don't even try, don't seem like. They just Mr. Trubisky and Justin Fields, Russell Wilson, like, dude, draft the quarterback. I don't know what Mike Tomlin issue is with that, bro. And I don't see nothing coming from this. I think Aaron Rodgers might be done, bro. Like he a great talent, but I don't really have much to say about that. I'm not impressed. I'm not moved. I don't think it moves them from third in the AFC North at best.
I don't know, man. Like it's Pittsburgh, right? So to one of your points, why don't they draft a quarterback? Let me see. When was Ben Roethlisberger?
Oh three, oh four. He came out the same draft as Eli Manning and picking Phillip Rivers.
But what draft pick was he?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Uh,
He's someone in the top 15.
yeah. That's my point. That's the point I'm trying to get to is Mike Tomlin, because he has been an average coach. It's hard for me to say this, but because he's been an average coach, and what I mean by that is he has never had a losing record
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
throughout his tenure. The way the NFL draft works is they prioritize the worst
They
teams.
need a tank.
So if you're the worst team, you actually get the first pick. If you're the Super Bowl winning team, you actually get the last pick. So if you're a team who's never had a losing season, you typically are going to win 8 to 9 plus games. So with that being said, you're going to average around pick 15 towards the end of the draft. So to your question, why don't they draft a quarterback? They're never really in position to draft a quarterback. They have to get lucky enough to get a Ben Roethlisberger who falls to the back half of the top 15 to where you can now pick up in this case, he was a Hall of Fame quarterback who brought them Super Bowl opportunities and a consistent winning franchise over his career because he got picked up, I think, 12th or 13th, right? So you have the opportunity to pick up a quarterback like that in the back half of the draft. Maybe they should have picked up Lamar Jackson, because he fell. They could have picked up Shador Sanders. So I mean, there has been opportunities. Of
Yeah,
course,
I wanted if it was a chance for him to get Mahomes. 'Cause I think Mahomes went
he was
15.
10. He was 10, I believe.
He was 10.
Yeah, I want to say he was 10, and they
He was
actually traded
15.
up
Let's see
Pat
what he was.
Mahomes.
He was like 15 too.
So 2017, Kansas City traded up with the Buffalo Bills to draft him number 10.
10, okay. What
Yeah.
was the Steelers at in that draft? Can you see real quick?
2017 Steelers first round pick. So in 2017, the Steelers drafted TJ Watt. So
Oh, what else? Can't get mad at that.
I don't know. And that was with the 30th overall pick.
Mm.
30th overall pick. So again, they're drafting in the back half. And I mean,
That draft good. They
yeah,
need a
they're a
damn
defensive
quarterback.
minded team. So that's the steel curtain, you know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna draft to run the ball, stop the offense, and hopefully land a quarterback, you know what I'm saying, low scoring type of game. But overall, to that point, they're an average to above average team, so they're never really picking in the top five, which is where you normally are gonna pick up or invest in the quarterback. So I think that's what's ailing them. They just need to be sorry. But I always want Mike Tomlin to keep
Right.
this winning streak. So
You know, one sorry season that they're gonna turn on and say
yeah,
fire you.
now you
So
got to get that on his record. So,
yeah.
but to that point, Aaron Rodgers, right, is somebody who they're a team that's automatically going to be 500 or better, and then you add Aaron Rodgers. I think there's an opportunity where he can get them a game or two above, 800. So you're talking 10 to 11. Somebody who's productive enough to throw the ball. They did get giveaway Pickens, so I have no idea who their wide receivers are.
You got Metcalf.
Oh yeah, DK Metcalf. So I mean, I gotta see. I gotta see it, man.
I don't think they have Najee Harris no more. He was like the
Yeah,
main person in the offense. I'm not saying like you're right, it's a wild card, but I'm like, man, they still them. He's still at the end of the day, he's still old. So you gonna be in the same position in a year or two. He might be in the same position next year. He might retire after this year. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. I
So
mean,
I
well,
just wonder what's Pittsburgh philosophy because it seemed like they just cool like, and that's how it's been since we was kids, man. Like they gonna just two coaches our whole lifetime or three. I think Chuck Noll was still the coach when we were children, but Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, and now Mike Tomlin, man, it's just like they just cool. They gonna hold hang tight with what they got.
yeah, man. I don't know, but I am starting to understand, the big picture with this change in leadership in Jacksonville, how GMs really do think. I was able to watch this show called with the first pick, and they actually brought on James Gladstone, who's the GM for the Jaguars, and I think they call him AB, he's a black GM for the Cleveland Browns. So I wasn't aware, I couldn't remember that he was a black GM, and he actually was the youngest GM ever hired at 32, and then James Gladstone's now the youngest at 34. And they broke down like how their dialogue went with how they were able to create the draft pick. And what I've noticed, man, is there's like a similar theme. So in the NBA, you had the trade with Luka that was kept under wraps, and they talked about how trust was so important, and that's what was able to get that trade through to avoid the media and potentially like killing the trade. The same thing actually happened with the Jaguars. So James Gladstone didn't have a relationship with the GM AB at out of Cleveland, but they met at the owners meeting, and he said that's where they kind of like started to build a relationship, and then over time he would reach out and they would start to assess like, hey, how serious are you? This is what we would need, because we're aiming for a quarterback, if anything, and that's when they introduced it, and they were able to keep it under the covers, and the biggest thing it seems like they were waiting on Slaughter that they talked about was the Titans. And I was like, man, this is where the Titans could have killed the Jaguars by like not picking Cam Ward and doing something crazy, and that would have actually killed the trade. But because they picked Cam Ward, and the trust was there from the Browns that they made that trade, and they felt like it'll both be a win-win. So it's interesting just to see like the relationships and the types of conversations, but it's always like big picture. Like everything they talked about was like down the road, even though as fans we're so like in the moment and what's going on. So that brings me to my point about this bad take you brought up.
Yeah, I bet they are down the road talking about the Browns and the damn Jaguars.
Well, the Jaguars going to win a chip in the next 5 years, so that is down the road, but it's real close and it's building right now. You know what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
you brought up Jaire Alexander. I
Yeah.
don't believe he's been signed. He was released by the Packers. You text me talking about, all right, let me see what the leadership going to do. Why do you think we need to pick up Jaire Alexander?
Why you say that the Jaguars gonna win a championship in 5 years? Signing him may make me believe that a little bit more. He is going away the best cornerback that will possibly be on y'all team immediately if y'all sign him. The only it's like the ultimate low risk, high reward. You not have to pay him no money, right? I think the Jaguars got like what 20-something million in cap room. They just cut Gabe Davis. That's one of y'all most glaring needs that y'all really. I mean, y'all felt it by signing people, but you didn't feel it was sign nobody who I can say gonna make your defense, gonna make that secondary better. It's just like, okay, well, Jordan Lewis. I forgot about him, the nickel cornerback. Yes, I'll take that back. Jordan Lewis was a great signing, but you add Jaire Alexander, you add veteran leadership. Once again, you add the best cornerback on that team, bar none. And at worst, say he go out there and get hurt again. I feel like every cornerback on that team can benefit from him just being there, teaching them, guiding them, showing the way. Especially Travis Hunter, right? You got a two-time All-Pro. I think Pro Football Focus even still right now has him as the top cornerback in the league. And I think the Jaguars' first corner don't come up until like the 20s or some shit like that. So you got a chance to add Pro Football Focus, who I'm not always the guy in the stat, but I use that more to make points. But they say he's a top 10 cornerback, and he hasn't played a full season in 2 years. You get him on discount, right? So there's really no risk to signing Jaire Alexander. And like you said earlier, he has already played. He has a reputation. He has familiarity with defensive coordinator, right? The court he was again. He think he was a former linebacker coach from the Packers, so they know each other, right? You in the AFC where these receivers all over. We talking about uh Higgins and Jamal Chase. We talking about Pat Mahomes. You talking about all these flashy offenses coming through the AFC. Now you got Cam Ward, who finna turn that thing up real quick. You
Oh,
got the Texans down there. You got Stroud down there. Like this is a easy move. Sign Jaire Alexander. I don't know what's so hard. I don't know how this is a bad take. There's no risk involved in signing this guy.
so you say he's the top cornerback. He's listed as the 25th cornerback
What are you looking at? I just looked.
according to PFF .com.
I don't know what you're looking at. I
PFF.com.
just looked at. I just looked at it. It had him ranked number 9. That was as of like a couple days ago. I don't know what you're looking at.
I just told you what I'm looking at. You know what I'm saying?
I don't have
You're
my.
talking about a guy who can't play more than 7 games in the past 2-3 years. That's what I'm talking about. You're talking about a guy who was just released, right? And you're talking about a team in the Packers who he's been there this whole time, and they don't see fit that he can move forward based on injury, based on not being able to show up. And this is the off season, right? Trying to renegotiate his contract, and is not willing to. So, what do you think he's going to come to the Jaguars and play for crumbs? Um,
Yeah, he has no choice.
he
He
has
he
no
has
choice.
he has no leverage. He has no leverage right now.
What you mean, top cornerback in the league?
He has no leverage. No one once they put that stuff out there that because they said something it was about incentives. So a lot of his money was based off incentives. So right now, the most he gonna do being a 28-year-old still young cornerback, 9 times out of 10, he gonna sign a 1 year, maybe 2 year deal with an option for the team, right? And they if he come out here and get hurt, they'll let him go. If he come out here and have a good season, the next season is still be on a discount. He's not gonna get nothing what he wants. He has to prove himself this year in order to try to get the next contract.
Yeah,
But before, so something that he's not going to get paid nothing by no contending team. Now
yeah,
maybe a non-contender might, but
yeah. So I think that's all why the odds of the Jacksonville Jaguars signing him are low. Another aspect is the fact that James Gladstone, the GM, talks about signing players that intangibly rich. And one of them is like how you're perceived and being nothing more than who you are. And from my understanding, he's somebody that people can see as brash, as controversial, as somebody who can stand up coaches or players or be off, to himself versus somebody who the attitude that they're trying to bring into the locker room right now is camaraderie, people who are sacrificing, people who are bringing that spark. So intangibly rich is the term that they're using, and something that's been similar across all the players who I've heard the individual interviews with throughout these mini camps and OTAs. So just from an optic standpoint, I don't believe he's somebody who they were bringing to this current regime and how they're operating and functioning right now. I also do believe they have a plan for the players that they have. And if they do want to make a move for a corner, it'll be somebody who's healthy that they can easily just trade for versus signing Jaire Alexander with somebody who you're saying, all right, this is a prove it year. He can then earn a contract. I don't think that's what they're looking for based on the talent that they have moving forward. So, in my eyes, I think it's a slim chance that they sign him. Maybe he's somebody who can go to Baltimore, something like that, and play with that type of team. Even Jalen Ramsey, they've just been floating his name around. I haven't really seen no moves, and I'd rather pick up a Jalen Ramsey if it was just one v one. I'd rather pick Jalen Ramsey versus Jaire Alexander. But even then, I don't think he's worth bringing onto the team. So that's just my thoughts. I think what they have, they're gonna run with it. You talking about Travis and his development. They got Jordan Lewis, like you called out. I've been seeing from the videos that he's been somebody who's been leading that group and sharing his experience and knowledge, veteran presence, and they also have Eric Murray, who's a leader and a veteran as well. So I think they'll be fine. Um, we'll see what happens, but I don't think Jaire Alexander in this current phase as an injury-prone cornerback the past 3 years is worth bringing him on.
I think it just shows a short sightedness and narrow mindedness of Jaguars and their fans, not looking at things holistically. But that's why you're the Jaguars. That's why you're not going to win championships, and you're not going to get close to winning championships. We can move on.
It makes no sense, man.
Tell me about it.
So we know you have some sort of taste when it comes to music, but when it comes to Lil Wayne, I'm not sure I understand why. I didn't even know he had an album that came out. Like that's just where I'm at with Lil Wayne. Shout out to Lil Wayne, but the Carter 100 just came out, and you decided to go on a run, if I'm not mistaken, and listen to it. You gave it a 7.5. But to tell the people why they should listen to this Lil Wayne
I
album.
want you to go first because you said it was trash. So I want to hear why you say it's trash.
Yeah, I would say number one is like the production. From the production standpoint, it just wasn't anything that caught me, right? Like I actually listened to it today just so I can get a perspective on it. And I'm driving to work and just nothing pulled me. I think it was like track number three, that had Jay something on it. And that was a track that actually like grabbed my attention, you know what I'm saying? Everything else, it just was like playing in the background. Like if you shopping at the store, you know what I'm saying, and you just picking through the items and it's something playing in the background, but you ain't really listening to it. And it was like, dang, this is a Lil Wayne album, and nothing was grabbing me. Like I can think about the Carter 2 or the Carter 3, and it's like, it's songs just grabbing your attention. It's all right. Let me run that track back. Like that was fire. Like nothing was repeatable. As outside track number three, I don't even. I'm trying to see what the name of.
Called Bills. Called
Huh?
Bills. Big, you talking about Bills?
Yeah, who was the feature artist on that one?
Man, it's just, but I don't. I hated the feature. The J whatever. I hated the feature.
Hip hop. Yeah, the hip hop song. I was like, it was just the production caught my ears. It was
You
actually
said,
track number four.
huh?
Track number four called hip hop.
Okay. Cool. Number three, Bills though, right?
Uh, Yeah, number three is Bell. So it actually was number four, hip hop. So
Hip hop.
yeah. So yeah, you don't even know, right? Um, but yeah, just listening to it, nothing really grasped me. He's still kind of just talking about the same old, same old. Like I'm at a point in time in my life where I'm trying to hear a clear cut story. So tell me a story where I can see the movie from beginning to end. Like I like that concept when it comes to music. I like something that again just has like a that I can ride to, right? If I'm driving from here, North Carolina to Florida, and I want to put in an album that rides, and it's like I look up and I'm in Savannah, Georgia, because I'm just jamming. That didn't hit the bill for me at all either. He didn't really have no features that stood out to me where it's like, all right, let me go to this track because I want to hear this song with a Kendrick or even a Drake, right? Like a Drake or anybody new. Nothing really stood out from a feature standpoint, so that didn't interest me. And I just think overall, it's just like a boring, repetitive. Like he got some wordplay for sure. He said something. I should have wrote it down to give the quote, and it's like, all right, I hear that bar. But overall, like it just didn't show no growth. I wish it would have like just shown something, talk about a time period in his life where he just captured some moments, his children more. I don't know, man. He just didn't put me up on no game. Women, money, drugs.
Right. Right, man. And to your point, I'm seeing everybody criticizing the album a lot for that reason, which I think is just asinine to me. Not you saying that, but other people asinine that. But the production, and I guess that's a matter of opinion because I actually love most of the beats on this album. Most of them, I'm vibing. I rap myself, so I'm freestyling to the car. Most of the beats. It's a couple songs. The song with Bono, I skipped that song immediately. You start saying "God Bless America," I'm skipping you immediately. You start saying shit like that. It's another song. He got the song with his what is, I think it's his son or somebody, or I think
Yeah.
Remy. I ain't really wasn't feeling that too much. But I'm the other way. Right, with the features, I didn't like all of them, but I like the one with Big X the Plug. I like the one with Two Chains. The that's my favorite song. It's called
Yeah, Big X the plug. That was the
that's hip
number
hop.
four.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
one. So
hip hop. Yeah, that was
that
the
one go
hardest song
hard.
to be.
That one go hard. The
Yeah.
one with Two Chain, I can't remember what it's called. That's my favorite song. I can't remember, I forgot what this song called. That's what I had on my
Cotton Candy.
score. Cotton Candy, that's my shit. Cotton Candy. Then Kodak my dog. So Kodak on the back of the
I
album. I
didn't
think he
make
like
it that far yet.
yeah, Kodak on. I think he on track 18.
Yeah.
That nigga say Weezy F baby and the F is whatever the fuck you want it to stand for, something like that. Like I love listening to Kodak. And then the last song where he talking about he the champ. I think got Ali. He got Ali voice in the back. So production is opinionated. People might
Yeah.
like it, but when I hear people saying that they mad about his content, I'm like, yo, this is Lil Wayne, man. He been talking about the same thing since 1997, and he's let us know verbatim that he's not going to change it. So when I hit put Lil Wayne on, when I grade his album, now 7.7.5, 7.5 is a little too high because I had the Carter 4 too high. The Carter 4 is his worst album ever, so that shit get a 3. I get that. That's that shit when that's like the only album with Drake on it. So maybe that's why I give it a 3. So that goes down to a 3, and I can get a Carter 6, maybe like a 5.5 or 6, because 7.5 is a little too high, right? But I'm not listening to Lil Wayne expecting to get no knowledge. I'm not listening to him to learn nothing. I'm listening to Lil Wayne to put words together and to give me a vibe. And I'm talking about I'm vibing like the song. I said the song with Two Chainz, Cotton Candy, that's my shit. The song off the with the Manny Fresh beat, he vibing on that. The first song I think it's called This Is something about the Carter. Whatever he said about the Carter. That's that. The last two songs hard. I think it's 18 songs, nice song on the album. He has been doing this thing where he put too much music out. Was another reason I kind of liked it because it's not 25 songs. It ain't 23 songs. It's like 17, 16 songs. I'll probably like 10 to 12 of them. 10 to 12, maybe 13 of them. And I've been having the Cotton Candy on repeat. That song is on repeat all the damn time. I'm vibing that beat. I'm vibing all that. But he a polarizing person now. He 40 something years old. But I just saying when I'm hearing everybody talking about they want to hear Lil Wayne growth, I'm like, why? He's not gonna grow. He's told you that. You listen to this dude. Life is kind of like he going backwards. This damn show not gonna help him get on the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody now they in a pissed off mood about him. I don't know why we at the Carter 6. I think that does speak to a lack of creativity on his part. Like you keep having the same album covers. Like, dude, are you even? Sometimes it's like, are you even trying? I have heard some people say he sounds old, and he does. Some of them songs is like, damn, bro, you kind of like trying to keep us to the beat. So I understand those gripes. It's just like when I grade a Lil Wayne album, I'm not grading on growth. I'm not grading on being inspired. Right? I'm grading on going. I'm going out. I'm vibing. The work I do. I'm in the car. I'm working out. And for that, man, I think it was a pretty decent album. I think it was the best Carter since. Depending on how you like Carter 5, Carter 3. Because I hated Carter 4. I think that's the worst album ever, man. So I'm rocking with it.
All right. Well, did he say best rapper alive at all on this album?
The last song, okay, yeah, he pretty much still saying he the shit. He saying I'm the best one. You know what? While I writing down to it again, he kind of on some Eminem shit like right now, where both of them dudes just get on beats and just rap, and it's whatever. It's no target. It's no, for the most part, it's just saying the same shit, saying it fast, saying it slow, blase, 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 blah. I think he was showing how he can hit every genre. What might be another problem too, because he rapping, then he got the little rock and roll shit going on again. Then he's trying to sing and do all that kind of stuff. And it's like, bro, make a cohesive project. That's the best thing. If you can put this, you can sequence his albums together, which he hasn't done that well since like the Carter 2. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
but like I say, I don't know why everybody going so hard on Wayne, man. Maybe people just pissed off about something. Maybe I did see a lot of people say they was mad because Drake and Nicki Minaj wasn't on the album. And I guess, these weirdo fans, you know what I'm saying? So
I mean, I think that's what he need, like something to like bring the spark back. Like again, I didn't even know he dropped the album, so I don't know what that means. Take it for what
the
it
spark
is.
is over. I mean, the spark in hip hop is dead. Period. Like, there's no anybody drop an album right now, right? If it's There's no spark no more. Cause now you got hit and release. There's nobody you can think of. I'm a hip hop fan, so I know that the Clips can drop albums. I'm looking forward to, and I think Ghostface Killer finna drop Supreme Clientele too. But people who want to love hip hop so much, they're not even gonna check that out. I'm pretty sure both of them finna be great albums. Nobody gonna listen to them. They want to hear popish and all this. They want to twerk and pop pills and all that weird stuff. So Lil Wayne, he'll let you do that.
I mean, when I even think of like New Orleans artists, he's not even. I I guess he could be in my top five New Orleans
There's
artists.
no way Lil Wayne out of your top five artists of New Orleans, bro.
How?
There's
How?
no way. Who? Let's give me. There's no way you gonna say Lil Wayne on top five New Orleans artists. Who would be over Lil Wayne? Top five.
For me, Currency
Okay.
one. Then you got Young Roddy number two. You got Trademark the Skydiver number three.
You got
Yeah,
this.
like all three of those
You
dudes.
saying all time, or you just saying currently right now?
Yeah, I'm saying all time. Like if I had to say, all right, what albums or what artists do I want to listen to out of New Orleans? He wouldn't be ahead of those
Yeah,
three.
yeah. You just. This is like that recency bias stuff. Cause Lil Wayne,
He
Lil
biased.
Wayne, Lil Wayne heyday was from '99 to '08, '09. That's 20 years ago. There's no way you can say Currency is gonna be over Lil Wayne from New Orleans. Hell no.
Well, I'm saying
Currency.
if you talk about since 2009, I've been listening to Currency. It's now 2025, so you're talking about 16, the most recent 16 years.
Right.
And then you said 99 to 2008. That's 9 years.
Really 95, 96. But we can
All
keep
right,
it
so
moving.
95 to 2008 is 13 years,
Mhm,
and that's from 30 years ago. I'm talking about the most recent 16 years.
mhm,
That's if I just take the most recent 16 years doing it now, right? And Currency's their age.
mhm,
Currency and him grew up together. But
mhm.
what I'm saying is it's not recency bias as far as like, all right, the past year or two. I'm talking about since 2009, I've been listening to Currency, Trademark, and Young Roddy. So those dudes to me, who are also from New Orleans, the same streets, they all know each other. I would choose those albums and those projects, and they probably have equally as much music as Lil Wayne that I could listen to. So that's
Who,
just
who,
my.
who, who are your last two? You said three. Who are your last two?
I said I had to maybe top. I don't think I could do top five. I don't know if Eshawn Burgundy is from New Orleans or not.
Bro, those dudes don't even make New Orleans. So when I said top five New Orleans has a sound. Them dudes, maybe Currency don't even really have it. Them dudes don't even have the sound of New Orleans, especially Currency more just on some space ghost hip hop, smooth old beats. You talking about the bounce, it's doing the bounce music, the chants, all that stuff. Them dudes ain't doing that, man. You got top five, you ain't say Juvenile, you ain't say Soulja Slim, BG, Mystical. I can take Currency
How
being the
many
top five.
mystical albums you listening to?
Huh?
How many mystical albums are you
I'm
listening
just naming. I'm just naming people like the we know his song. We know what Mystical did around here. If Mystical come on, you can take 4 5 songs that he come on. That's setting shit off before you hear any Currency song, right? Like
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not saying what's the most popular song. I'm saying who are the artists that I would listen to out of New Orleans, not what the sounds are. Does it sound like bop music or whatever you would consider it? Just who are the artists that I would listen to when I think about running an album from top to bottom, right?
yeah,
Over and over and over, multiple albums, multiple songs, 100 songs, right? 10 to 15 albums. Those are the guys who come to mind first over Lil Wayne. Although I put Lil Wayne in the top five. I'm not saying he's trash, like I never listened to his music. But if we're talking about over the past 30 years, right? And out of the past 30, 50 to 60% of those years, these are artists that I've been listening to. Those are the ones that I would go to first because of my vibe, my style, they lingo, all of that. That's what I would go for. And they have the aspect of growth, right? You have somebody who came from the streets, or you have somebody who was with BG and Slim. What's that one dude?
Soulja Slim.
Soldier Slim, right? That's who Currency was rolling with. So you have somebody who was in them same crowds but resemble who I am, somebody who can be amongst that environment but just played his role and did his thing and rose to the top in the underground. And then you got people like Young Roddy who was in the streets, but now he talking about family. Now he talking about growth and development and building, but he still, carry it on him. And you got uh Trademark, the skydiver. Like he's still a pimp, but at the same time, he's showing growth and talking about different things and avenues of scaling his income. So
Yeah, it is what it
it's
is.
just what I listen to from a holistically. But Lil Wayne, he's still there, but he's just not my cup of tea.
I don't know who the other two guys is.
Young Roddy and Trademark, check them out. I'll send you some tracks.
Juvenile. That I'm listening to. Juvenile. BG Lil Wayne. That's all
Yeah,
right.
you stuck in the past, but I got you.
I am. I am.
All right, man. One thing though, before we transition to our last topic, something that the GM of the Jaguars said on that show, he was like, "Man, what I do is I find an album that I like and I listen to it over and over and over for about 2 to 3 week period." And he said what he's learned over his tenure of life, adulthood, is that when he listened to that song or that album for 2 to 3 weeks, yeah, he'll end up learning the words. But what he realizes that a year, 2, 3, 4, 5 years later, if he hears that album or song, it takes him right back to that moment in time vividly to where he can recall his life or what happened or how he was feeling during that time. And I thought that was a good perspective because I felt that, but I never intentionally was like, all right, let me dive into this album or this piece of art because I understand in 5 years, 6 years, I'll be able to recall, vividly what happened during that time period. So I thought that was a dope take.
Yeah, that's why Dr. Dre said he never listens to the Carter to the first Chronic. He said the first Chronic, the space and time he was in that place, he was like he hated that part of his life. You know what I'm saying? So even though the Chronic that first album is great, it's dope as hell. He
Yeah,
said he never listens to it. So
word.
I can feel that.
So this has been a trending topic, man. Like, and I look on my Facebook thread, and I see arguments. I see people unfollowing and blocking and
But
all type of stuff going on. I look at your post today, and I feel like a girl almost chewed you out if you if you kept going back and forth. So what's your take? I didn't see the movie. My wife did. She gave me a little synopsis, but Tyler
man,
Perry comes out with straw. What's your
somebody tap somebody tapped Tyler Perry on the shoulder and said, "Hey, we'll give you $60 million if you go piss off black people."
okay?
That's exactly what he did with this damn movie, bro. Like it's a good movie.
So are you pissed off?
I'm not pissed off 'cause I understand that it's entertainment. But the people who want to argue and beef and not this way you go deep, they don't understand energy. You giving your energies over to this bullshit, what you shouldn't be doing is you're pretty much feeding right into what they want you to do by trying to go back and forth. Cause even if you saying with the girl who posted today, it's like once you don't engage with them in that level, then they start changing the subject and changing different stuff, and then it went from this to mental health and all this weird shit. I'm not finna. I'm never finna be the
Ooh, you in trouble? I was grabbing my popcorn.
yeah. I'm never finna be that guy debating. Cause if I do and I know the person, so it's cool. But
Okay.
if it go that way, I'm gonna block you. Like I'm not finna be debating niggas online about stuff like that. But what I'm sitting there saying is, bro, it's a good movie in the sense because it's so real. Like you can see her character and you can see everything that happened. You can find a person like that. But there's not one redeeming quality about this movie. Everything is bad. It wasn't like you had a moment at the end besides what happened, but it was like nothing that made you feel like okay, there's hope. This shit was a fucking it tore your heart out, right? But I felt bad because I laughed through the whole movie, right? Because I'm watching it like from entertainment standpoint, like damn man, you got some very bad energy. But fuck all that, right? One of the things is Tyler Perry and a black man. Apparently, he never really has black men in a good light in movies. And in this movie, every black man on screen, what his their character is a bitch. Everything the first person you hate in the movie is this old black man. You can't stand him. Uh, young black kids breaking bottles. The chief of police always kowtown to the white I guess head honcho or whatever. The younger black cop, he kind of like hating on Tiana Taylor character. Uh it was another. There's no mention of the woman's father, of the child's father. The only thing they say is to say, be careful who you have kids with. So just looking at this in real life, I guess the daddy could have been dead. He could have been in jail. He could have been one call away for all we know, right? But there's no mention of the man at all in this movie. And one thing I caught that a lot of people are not even speaking of, when the old black lady, she says, I ain't no telling where I would be without my husband. So then you got these idiots coming on thing talking about some, it ain't about having a husband, it ain't about like weirdo. Like it ain't about having a father. It ain't about having a man in your household because women are doing good without it. I'm like, this is the shit that they want y'all to say, all right? But y'all mad at the same time. It's all over the place, bro. It just feel like it's a nuke being dropped on the black community right now, and when we don't need it, right? There's so much going on. I posted about the pop the balloon challenge and everything that just goes on with us. It's just like they always trying their best to draw a line in the sand between the black man and black woman. And apparently, from based on what you're saying, they did it again. I only heard of it because I kept seeing people like you saying talk about it, and then people were saying like, you gonna cry. So I called Journey. I asked him. He was like, I was like, you gonna cry? He was like, nah. He was like, he's got mad. So me and the homie, I'm sitting there watching it with. We just laughing at the whole thing. They saying some parts that's touching, but bro, it's doing its job. As you search social media right now, it's doing its job, and it just shows you the mentality of black people, and it just don't put us in a good light, man. It just doesn't do it right now.
So, just from your takeaway and your post, you believe kind of the overarching solution is she needed a husband.
I was just saying that in the space, you gotta watch the movie, right?
Okay.
You gotta watch the movie. It is bigger than just a husband, but this motherfucker just needed help. Like it. So I ain't much touching on what how I painted the black woman. It really did push this narrative. Dog, she had nobody. The girl had nobody at all to help her besides like one friend at the store, and at the very end, her mama pop up, and then when she got on the phone with her mama, it's like you can immediately see the triggering between her and her mama. She started panicking and tripping out, and she was wilding the whole time. So it was like the movie did not show any redeeming qualities of even about the black woman, because she was doing dumb shit throughout the entire movie. This I'm talking about this dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? You just like I'm like, damn, I'm like, what is wrong with you? Tripping out, couldn't focus, couldn't calm down. And then when you realize what Tyler Perry did, it's like, bro, why did you even make this movie? Like, please come on and tell us, why did you make this? Because it's like, why is this here? What is the meaning of this damn movie? That's my overwhelming feeling. Like, bro, why did you put this out in this time? Like, please let me know. But yeah, a man, that's your question. Yes. Had a man been there, a decent man, a man like me and you, she damn sure would have had $40. Like, what the fuck? Like, silly type shit.
What's the $40?
To get a baby some medicine or some shit. Like,
Oh man, um, I think his answer would be to something you said, entertainment, right? Like you said, you watched it for entertainment. Based on what I'm hearing, I don't even know if I'll watch it. To be honest, I told my wife wanted to watch it like a couple of days ago. I was like, I'm good. I'm not trying to watch that. I'll fall asleep to something else. So she ended up watching it by herself. Something she talked about was like just sympathy, like an opportunity for people to offer sympathy, whether it's like the hospital and the situation that they were in. Again, I don't know it, but maybe like just being able to afford insurance and that whole dynamic and, sympathy from that standpoint or sympathy from, like her leader, the boss, or the bank teller or the principal or somebody who saw her doing something strange, I guess showing up to get her daughter from school or something, but realizing like her daughter ain't really there. Again, I haven't seen it. Just kind of listening to what she was sharing.
that that's go ahead. I'm sorry, go ahead. Just go ahead.
No, I was just saying like sympathy. with something solutions. Not all be all because it's all different aspects, but being sympathetic, right? Like, of course, there's always going to be people who just seem like they always got something going on. But just even then, you just never know. So offering sympathy, I talked about this last week, if I'm not mistaken, but like the rule of Fibonacci. So the idea that the two previous sequences equate to the next sequence, right? So like she had all these things going on, but it's like those sequences are going to add up to that next situation no matter what. Like it's going to equal that. So the opportunity is to break the sequence or break the pattern somehow, right? So like, go ahead.
And to that, the main thing that start the sequence is when she says it's little small shit that says she says, be careful who you have a baby with. That's one thing black women can do. Like all these black women who got so many issues about baby daddies, it's like, nigga, be careful who you have a fucking child with. At some point, let's stop this narrative of saying I want this hood dude, this thug dude. But now they switching to saying I want a hood nigga who go to church. Like now you just making Ken dolls again, making up weird shit that ain't finna fucking happen.
Yeah,
Like that's real. And also to the point, in the movie, like I say, it kind of just showed you how you can, if you in the spaces, right? Like if you own Dunn Ave, or you own Moncrief, you can walk into a bank and see you could be going through the worst day of your life, but everybody in that line, who in that line, do not give a fuck. They don't give a damn what you going through. You gonna get your ass in line. They don't care about your child need medicine, none of that shit. Like so, you can see that for real. And to your white point, nobody had empathy. It was like nobody gave a fuck about this lady. So a lot of girls sitting there saying, yeah, nobody don't care about a black woman. It's pushing that narrative. Right when it's the truth, man. Nobody don't even give a fuck about nobody in this damn country. It ain't just a black woman. Don't eat that stuff. Don't nobody give a fuck about nobody. If you in America right now with how quick everything going on, you think somebody give a fuck about a black woman going through that shit in LA right now? When they, like you just said, they start to show our motherfuckers when they get took for their damn. Don't give a damn. We all going through this shit, right? So whatever it is, it's just like, hey man, look at this shit as entertainment. Don't take this shit so personal. But if you want to take it personal from a space of yourself. Nigga, look at yourself. If you felt so goddamn you felt it so damn much, be careful who you have kids with, number one.
yeah.
Shit, be careful who you have kids with.
I mean, I always say that, man. I know it's so much more nuanced than just like don't do this, do that.
Right.
But that is it. Just is what it is, man. Like to me, I said to myself, and I got lucky. You know what I'm saying? Like I could have been had a child in high school, college, whatever, right? Like I was young and dumb, but by the grace of God, you know what I'm saying, it didn't happen. But my mentality was always like, man, I need to have six figures before I gonna have a child, because I'm like, how I didn't understand how people took care of their child and wasn't making good money. Like I just didn't understand because it costs money for me to take care of myself as an individual. So I'm like, how do people even do this? So like having the right financial stability, I thought will be important. And then finding somebody who has the right characteristics, right? Like I always tell people when I tell the story about how I decided to get married to my wife, it was like I saw she would be a tremendous mother. You know what I'm saying? Like I knew if I had a child with her, they was going to be raised right and taken care of, and I wasn't going to have to worry about that aspect
Right.
because I knew I would show up on my side as well. So
Right. Right.
just just being more thoughtful and intentional about the things we're doing. Like if you're not in a predicament where you can take care of yourself, it doesn't necessarily make sense to bring a child into the world, especially with somebody you don't plan to build long term with. And that doesn't mean it'll be perfect. Things happen, but
Yeah.
ideally, you know what I'm saying, be able to choose the right person you'll have a child with, because that's a huge responsibility, man. And then when it comes to healthcare, like it's expensive. You never know what can happen. Every child is different, but like, man, when you get into this healthcare system, man, like if
And
you
and
don't have insurance,
and that's why I say the movie was good because it pretty much hit on everything that you could be fighting against in this
yeah,
space, right? You fighting against the government, right? You fighting against they painted the white men, the police as bloodthirsty animals. You know what I'm saying? Like the white police officer, the FBI, they came in. But then, that just think about the whole movie with Tyler Perry. That's a crazy ass dude, man. But my friend who always watching the movie, she mentioned, she said communication. Nobody communicated well. So
Mm,
they hitting on everything that we need in the black community for real. We do not communicate well. The
yeah,
motherfuckers like to get online and type in all caps and talk this shit, and now I'm sitting there seeing a bunch of influencers or whatever they getting killed, beef, internet beef type shit. So no empathy amongst black people. We don't empathize with one another. We don't communicate well, and there's no bigger issue right now. I feel like socially with us than the black man and black woman getting their shit together and raising these children right. You got a whole generation of kids who are growing up single parent households, and something I think what you said in the earlier show in football is like you don't really see the effects of this shit until generations later.
yeah,
So you can be thinking about, oh well, I seen somebody who grew up in the 90s and 2000s without their mom, but we not gonna really know the effects of this shit until we in our 50s to 2050, and you can just see it already, man. Like this youth they angry, right? They being destroyed. I'm not a big proponent of church and religion, but I can sit here and say I'm noticing this like one of the first generation of kids. They, like I said before, they not going to church, right? So what is it going to be that's going to keep these kids in some type of line or guidance or give them something to feel, just any type of higher level of respect for something outside of just the physical, right? So it's really on the parents, us as parents, to teach them this shit. But we the most, in my opinion, just caught up parents that is. We caught up in this world doing what we can to keep the money up, keep this up, bills on, boom, 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 chasing
yeah,
dreams, aspirations, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, just get centered. You know what I'm saying? And just be grateful for the small things, right? Like
man,
that boy, I'm gonna tell you something. This some rich. It's off topic now, but right,
yeah.
that boy Bernie called me sometime earlier this week, and that boy he just asked me how I was doing, and I was just like, bro, I was thinking something hit me, bro. Like the fact that all my homeboys, all of us are up. Well, not even up. We just here. We healthy. We present. Our families is present. I don't gotta call you or call nobody and hearing the children ain't right or somebody sick. Like that
Drama,
there is,
yeah,
huh?
or drama.
Right. That is in itself is a blessing. You can look at me, all my friends good. Everybody around me good. So I don't have nothing to trip about, bro. Like I got a roof, I got a car, food, clothes. I don't need all this extra shit that y'all clamoring for,
Yeah,
right? Like we don't, that shit ain't necessary. So motherfucker lose their mind and stress out. And then you see this movie, all she needed was $40 fucking. That could change her damn life. And you tripping out because you can't go to damn the Bahamas. You know what I'm saying? Some dumb shit like that. So perspective, man.
yeah, and that's what I'll end on, man. Like it's crazy. Sometimes I do be tripping because I just get sidetracked and I'll be like frustrated at myself. Like, man, I should have did this, did that, because I could see how I'd have been better. But then I like the other day I walked into the bed with my wife, man. I was getting into bed and I was just like, man, we so blessed. Like I couldn't even like it was just crazy. Like I don't even know exactly what I was saying it about, but it was just like I could have just been coming down the stairs, you know what I'm saying? I put my son to bed. I don't know what it was, but it just hit me like I walked in a room and I was like, man, we so blessed, man. And it's hard for me. Sometimes I feel so detached. Like I understand I show empathy a lot, right? Because I just understand it. I recognize that I see things, right? I can watch that movie and understand like what's happening in the movie and that people go through it, or see what's going on in LA. Like, dang, that's happening, right? That's real people on the streets going through that situation. While I'm kind of just today, I'm walking in Sam's, right? So I take my son to martial arts. So he always has his little martial arts gear with his belt on. So we going in Sam's and I hear a dude in a white pickup truck, a white dude, and he lets this lady cross the street, an older white lady, and I hear him like, "Oh, come on, God bless you," whatever. I could hear him, and he was perpendicular to me, so I thought he was gonna keep straight. And we're almost by the door to go in, and he turns, and all I hear his voice because I heard it earlier. So he said something, but I'm not looking. And then I turn and look, and he's talking to my son because he's like, "Man, that's a cool outfit you got on, man. I like that little outfit you
Right.
got on, man." He's like, "Good job, Dad." A white dude, older
Right, right,
white
right, right,
dude.
right.
And he's just like, "Man, God bless y'all. God bless. Have a good day." And that just seems to be the vibe. Going to your point, like Journey, your friends, like I run into that type of situation, knowing
Yeah,
there's foolishness out here,
yeah,
right? Like
yeah,
all type of stuff, but it's like that is what seems to attract to me or be around me. And it's just a constant reminder, like, man, it is good out here, right? Like it is positive energy. It is people who wishing you well or wishing you blessed. And
yeah.
trying to keep that perspective,
You
man.
gotta, yeah, the thing is, you gotta be in that energy in yourself. If you
Yeah,
in that space of peace and positivity, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna get that in your life. Now you might be tested, right? You might have a little test where let me check your square right quick, make sure you really there. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? But 9 times out of 10, bro, if you own some positive and you giving that out, that's how the way the universe works. And however you want to put it, it's gonna bring it back to you. So you out here and you catching hell all the time, check the hell within you, bro. Like this shit really. I mean, I guess 'cause I'm getting older now, but the more you study, it's not that hard
yeah.
to get. It might be hard to apply, right? But to get it and just understanding, okay, just take deep breaths. When you're frustrated, take some damn deep. But my daughter all the time, Daddy, take deep breaths. Like this, my little homegirl is on the side. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same vibe. Man, having them children around you, we looking, we fathers, but man, we protected. You know what I'm saying? If you connected, you're gonna be protected. That's what I believe. I always say like. Right now, millions of people over this country right now don't have a pillow to sleep. They're not sleeping with a pillow at night.
That's a
And you
fact.
have a motherfucker right now mad, Jordans and all this old dumb shit. Nigga out here don't got a pillow. And you talking about some damn Jordans. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, man. I hope somebody grabs something from this episode, man. Like we just try to speak real. Like we're intentional with who we are. We try not to offend nobody, but we're gonna call it like what it is, how we see it. But ultimately, we lead with love, peace, positivity.
yeah.
Just get right, man. Like, gosh, Lee, I just pray Black people can get right, man. I don't know, man. I'd be sad thinking about this, but it
I
is
had to prepare
what it
myself
is.
mentally for whatever coming, baby. Prepare for what's coming, because it's coming, whatever gonna come, it's coming. And
Yeah,
Tyler Perry, hey, Tyler Perry owes an explanation. He need to be reviewed. Why did you put this movie out? Are you an agent or what, nigga? Why'd you put that movie out, bro? Because it ain't did nothing positive for us right now, bro. Nothing.
yeah. I mean, it would have been nice, I guess, what I'm hearing. If we can end here, like, if a Black man would have came up and been like,
That's what I said, bro.
hey, nice lady,"
That's what I
and that turned
said.
into, and maybe her daughter comes back to
That's what I
life,
said, bro. I'm
they
watching. I'm like,
adopt
I'm like, surely.
somebody,
I'm like, surely the black man finna save the day.
and they
Nope.
move into a nice house, and you know what I'm saying, and now the community blessed because they a
No.
blessed family. So yeah,
No, he gave us none of that. And he gave us despair. He gave us despair and no hope.
that's why I got these books. So I'm writing my books, my movies. You know what I'm saying, and
Word.
we're gonna change the game as we move forward.
Got to.
So we'll take on the responsibility, man. But hit the like button. Let us know
Yeah.
in the comments, man. Like, stop hitting Markel and telling them that y'all don't agree with me. Let me know in the comments so I can argue back. And
Yeah.
just wait for the proof in the pudding. I'm a long-term investor, baby. So I say something today, you see it in about a year or two. So Jaguars 13-4. We got Super Bowl in 5 years. We winning, baby. So shout out to Duval County. I'm a rider. Shout out to Keezy Kool. Appreciate you, bro. Much love to everybody. Hit the like button, subscribe. And I think we got a guest next week, if I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah, 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 yeah. Get
so
ready. Get ready.
let's get ready. We're gonna keep turning it up all summer. And we'll see y'all next week.
So peace.
Later.